Hello friends, I am Mr. Sanjay K. Bhadke, presently working as an assistant professor in Department of Civil Engineering. Friends, today we are going to discuss about the spot and speed study. We know in the last class we have discussed about the traffic engineering, and the ahead part of this traffic engineering is spot and speed study. So in today's class we have 2 points on which we are going to discuss thoroughly. The point number one is the various points which come under the spot and speed study, and the second important point is what do you mean by passenger car unit, which is shortly called as a PCU. We know that the mixed traffic flow characteristics are very much complex when compared to the homogeneous traffic, and it is very difficult to estimate the traffic volume, capacity of roadway under the mixed traffic flow unless the different vehicle classes are converted to one common standard vehicle unit. We know that when various types of vehicles are moving on the road, we can observe that various types of vehicles are car, some four wheelers, five wheelers or two wheelers. So all this is the mixed type of traffic. So in case of mixed type of traffic, it is very difficult to identify the special type of vehicles. So passenger car unit is specially help to finalize the special type of unit. Therefore, it is a common practice to consider the passenger car as the standard vehicle unit to convert the other vehicle classes, and this is unit is called as the passenger car unit, that is called as the PCU. If we want to separate the special class of the vehicle, so in that case we have to use the passenger car unit, and this is one of the methodology which is highly useful in India. Also we are using this methodology in abroad. Then what are the various aspects which come under the PCU? It is a common practice to consider the passenger car as the standard vehicle unit to convert the other vehicle classes, and this unit is called as the passenger unit or PCU, where we can identify the special car units. We know that when there is a mixed traffic flow, the traffic volume and its capacity are generally expressed as a PCU per hour or PCU per lane or per hour, and the traffic density at PCU per kilometer length of the lane. Basically, it is our general observation when various types of vehicles are moving on the road. You can take an example of car. You may take an example of four-wheeler or some big vehicles like truck and buses. So the characteristics of every vehicle is different. So it is very difficult to identify the special type of car unit. So government had decided that for the identification of proper type of vehicle characteristics, there should be a proper unit which is called as the PCU, and thus PCU has been established and it's come in practice. And nowadays for a conversion or preparation of special type of vehicles, we are using this PCU on large scale, which is called as the passenger car unit. Here in this table you can see the various passenger car equivalence factor. These factors are very much important when we are going to design the various categories related with the passenger car unit. All this equivalence factor has been found as per the IRC 86 1983. These all equivalence factors are available in IRC 86 1983, and normally for the identification of various PCU we are using this equivalence factor. So here you can say when there is a vehicle class like motorcycle, scooter and pedal cycle, in that case we are considering this equivalence factor as a 0.5. If your vehicles are passenger car, tempo, auto rickshaw, agriculture tractor, pickup van, so in that case we are consider this equivalence factor as a 1. In case of cycle and rickshaw, we consider this equivalence factor as a 1.5. If you take an example of the various vehicles like a large vehicles, may take example of truck, bus or agriculture tractors or trailer. In that case, this PCU equivalence factor we are considering as a 3. In horse-drawn vehicles with heavy goods, in that case we are considering this factor as a 4. For a small bullock cart and for the hand carts, we are considering this equivalence factor as a 6, and in case of large bullock cart we are considering this equivalence factor as 8. So by this IRC 86 1983 recommendation we can analyze one thing, that passenger car unit PCU, the vehicle separation or vehicle classification is also calculated for the old transportation systems like small bullock cart and hand cart. Also we are calculated for the large bullock cart, and nowadays we are using various motorcycles, passenger car, tempo, cycle, rickshaws or truck and buses. So these are the modern vehicle class unit, and for that we are also having this equivalence factor which is recommended by the IRC, that is Indian Road Congress 86 1983. Now what are the various factors which affecting the PCU? We know that when there is a something new technology, in that case there are various factors in the nature which are affecting. So in case of PCU, the first factor which largely affect is the vehicle characteristics. I already told you that if vehicles are different, in that case the vehicle characteristics will be different. So while calculating the PCU, it is very important that we should know the vehicle characteristics. Second is speed distribution of the mixed traffic stream volume to the capacity. So it is very necessary that when we are doing this calculation, we should consider the various speed distribution of the various traffic stream. We know that various types of mixed traffics are like car, two-wheeler, four-wheeler. So we should consider the speed factor. Then second important factor is the roadway characteristics. How was the road constructed? What is the various quality of the material which we are using for the road construction? Whether road is a two lane or three lane, or it is a highway, expressway. So this is the road characteristics is very important in case of factor which are affecting on the PCU. Next point is the regulation and control of traffic is also affect on the PCU. Then environmental and climatic and atmospheric condition is also taken into the consideration when we are calculating or when we are designing the passenger car unit. The second today's point is the speed studies. If you want to minimize the various road accidents or overall accidents, so in that case we should analyze the various history which is related with the speed study. So that's why today our topic is the spot and speed study. So in the analysis analysis of the speed study, there are various types of speed which we should consider in our preparation. Number one is the average speed. So what do you mean by average speed? The average speed of the vehicle which is observed in the spot. We know that various types of vehicles like two-wheelers, bike, you may consider the car. So all these vehicles are moving on the road. Every vehicle is moving on the road with the different speed. So with the help of various electronic instrument or with the help of some manual instrument, we can calculate the average speed of the various vehicles. To calculate, for the calculation of this average speed, we should have considered some time interval, and during time interval how many vehicles are start from their origin. We have to consider the average speed, and through this average speed we can make our next calculation. The another is the running speed. What do you mean by the running speed? The average speed maintained by a vehicle over a given course while the vehicle is in the motion, that is called as the running speed. Then mathematically, how can we calculate this running speed? So this running speed can be calculated by the length of the course to the running time, the ratio of the length of the course to the running time, or length of the course to the journey time or delay is called as the running speed. So in the speed study, average speed and running speed are the very important. Other than these two speed study, we have another study which is called as the journey speed. So journey speed is known as the overall travel speed. If you can take an example, if I am moving from Nagpur to the Amravati, the total distance from Nagpur to the Amravati is 150 kilometer. So this will be my complete journey, which is starting from Nagpur and it end on the Amravati. And how we can define this journey speed? It is the effective speed between the 2 points. It is the distance between the 2 points divided by the total time taken by the vehicle to complete the journey, including all delays. We can say that if I am starting from Nagpur, so Nagpur will be my orientation point, and if I end my journey at Amravati, so Amravati will be my destination point. So this will be my overall journey. I should consider the total kilometer which I travel from Nagpur to the Amravati and total time required to travel this distance. So all these aspects come under the journey speed, which is called as the overall travel speed. So how to calculate this journey speed? So this journey speed mathematically is calculated by distance upon the total journey of time. This total journey should include the delay time also. So journey speed will be given distance divided by the total journey time or distance divided by the total journey time including delay time. So this way journey speed is also important factor in the speed study. So mathematically these are the some equations. By using this equation you can calculate the speed study. Now what do you mean by the spot study? It is the instantaneous speed of a vehicle at the specified location. When we calculate the speed of a particular vehicle on a particular spot, then it is called as the spot study. Average speed, we already discussed about the average speed. The second one is the space mean speed. The space mean speed is also called as the harmonic mean. It is the average speed of vehicle in a certain road length at a given instant. So this is very important thing, that is harmonic mean. What do you mean by harmonic mean? It is the average speed of the vehicle in a certain road length at a given instant. So you can see this is a mathematical formula where velocity is given by the NL divided by limitations from I to N of summations with respect to the time. So where we can see that V is the spatial mean speed, N is the number of vehicles, and capital V is the speed of the vehicle. So when you calculate the spatial mean study or harmonic mean. So in that case, you have to consider all these factor which is shown in the PowerPoint presentation. So while doing the speed study, we have to calculate the time mean speed, which is called as the arithmetic mean. And how it is defined? It is defined as the mean speed of the vehicle at a point in a space over a period time, or it is the average or instantaneous speed of the observed vehicle at this spot. So by using this formula, we can calculate the total velocity time mean speed, that vi divided by n, and the total summation speed is given from I to n, where n is the number of vehicles and v is the speed of the vehicle. We have already discussed about the running speed, and we have already discussed about the journey speed. So journey speed is also called as the travel speed. So here, to know the speed study, these are the various factors in which time mean speed or arithmetic mean is one of the important factor which we should calculate it while doing the spot studies and other studies like running speed or journey speed. Now, what are the various types of speed study? There are various types of this speed study. As you can see that spot speed study is one of the type. Then speed and delay study. When we consider, or when we doing the some analysis related with the speed study, in that case we should consider the delay, because delay is made due to the many reason, due to the road constructions, or made due to the traffic jam. So for going to over any conclusion, we should consider the delay study, because delay study, it is one unknown factor, and that may come in observation at any time. So that's why delay study is a very important factor. Then what are the various use of the spot study? So you can see that when you want to do the some planning regarding to the traffic control and traffic regulation, and if you want to develop any document related with the traffic control or traffic regulation, so in that case spot speed study plays a very important role. If you want to do or want to design any geometric design related to the roadways or highways, if you want to change the existing design, so in that case spot study is important factor. If you want to collect various information regarding to the accident studies, or if you want to know the various traffic capacity, so for all this parameter spot study is very important. If you do the spot study through this manual or automatic method, so in that case it is help to know the various factor like what type of geometry design will be there, what is the planning and traffic control is there, how accident can take place, and what will be the traffic capacity. So it will help to calculate all these factors. We know there are many methods when we want to calculate the spot studies or want to calculate the speed study. We have to go on the spot, and in that case we are using various electronic instrument, or may call as the automatic instrument for the calculation of this spot study. So there are various instrument through which we can take the various observation, and there are various method which normally we are using for the calculation of speed study. So one method is the long base method, second method is the short base method. So what this long base method includes the vehicles are time over a long distance. Short based methods or vehicles are timed over a short distance. Here we short distance consider as a 2 meter, and in case of long based method we have considered the distance more than 2 meter and up to 10 meters. There are various electronic instruments like radar, speedometer, which automatically record the speed. We have photographic methods. So by using this electronic method, we can also calculate the spot studies. Now next point is the direct timing procedure. The direct timing procedure is also one part of the spot and speed studies, uh, where we can subdivide the long base method in direct timing procedure, and second one is the insoscope. So in direct timing procedure, uh, we can say that this is one of the simplest method which normally we are using for this speed study, where two reference points are marked on the pavement at a suitable distance apart and observe the start and stop through the stopwatch as a vehicle crosses these two marks. So here what the people are doing, they are marking marking various marking number 1 and marking number 2, and they may consider the distance between these 2 points as a 500 meters. So when one vehicle is moving from point number 1 to point number 2, so we can record the what is the speed of this vehicle and how much time it will consume to move from point number 1 to point number 2. So this way directly we can calculate the speed of the vehicle, so that it is called as the direct timing procedure. Now next method is the automatic method, which is called as the radar speed meter. Its work on the Doppler principle. Speed of the moving body is proportional to the change in the frequency between the radio wave transmitted to the moving body and the radio wave received back. So radar speed meters work on the various applications of various radio waves or various radar waves, which can be calculated at its initial point and which can be observed at its end point. So this is called as the radar speed method. This instrument directly measures the speed. Instrument is set up near the edge of the carriageway at a height of 1 meter. The speed meter is so kept that the angle between the direction of travels of the vehicle and axis of transmission of the radio wave is as low as possible. You may consider is at a 20 degree, and speed of the vehicle in both the direction can be observed. So this is one of the favorite technology, and this is the most advantage of radar speed meter, that by fixing a radar speed meter on the spot, you can measure the speed of the vehicle in any direction. You may measure the speed in forward direction, backward direction, or you may measure in the right direction or left direction. So you can measure in any direction. So that's why this radar speed meter we are using on high scale for calculation of speed. The next method is the photography method. This is the time-lapse camera photography. Photographs are taken at a fixed interval of the time. By projecting the film on a screen, the passage of any vehicles can be traced within the reference to time. Image by video camera can be also used. We know that photography method is also include the videography through CCTV camera, or various video tapes or video shoots we can do for the calculation of vehicles of the speed, and all this come under this photography method. This is one of the important method, and normally we are using this method in the abroad, and you can take various image by this video camera, and you simultaneously you can record the image and speed of the vehicles. Now next point is the delay study. I already told you that when we are moving from one place to another place, when we are doing our journey, we should calculate the time. And when we are calculating the time, in that case we should include the delay time, because uh, for doing any conclusion or for making any study, delay time observation is very important, and delay study is very important for calculation of any results or any conclusion. So there are various methods for the speed and delay study. The method number one is floating car or riding check method, license plate or vehicle number methods, interview methods, elevated observation, and photographic techniques. So by taking the various interviews on roadside or offside, or by observing various license plate of the vehicles, or doing riding checks, or taking various photograph, we can calculate the various speed and delay speed on the road. So we know that there are various methods which may help us for the uh, calculations of various speed. So these methods are license plate method. So by using this license plate method, uh, we can calculate the various observation. Another is the interview technique method, and third one is the elevated observation and photographic techniques. So in license plate method, recording equipments are used. Observers are sanctioned at the entrance and exit of test section, where information of travel time is required. The timing and vehicle's number are noted by the observer of the selected sample. We know that in that case, one observer will be on the road. He select one time interval, and in this time interval he can observe various vehicles numbers and note it down. The travel time of each vehicle could be found, but the method does not give important details such causes of delay and the duration and number of delay within the test section. So in that case, when we are uh, consider this method of license plate for the calculation of speed study. So in that case there is one drawback. You cannot calculate the delay time of any vehicles by using this method. The another is the interview techniques. Here you can observe various values by conducting the various techniques on road and off road, and through that you can analyze the data which is related with the speed. The third is elevated observation and photography technique. This is very useful technique for studying the short test section like intersection. The last point in today's class is the origin and destination study. This is very important that we should analyze the origin and destination study. What do you mean by origin? If any person is starting its journey from point A, and it will end its journey on point B, then point A will be called as the origin and point B will be called the destination. Deeply, what do you mean by the O&D study? The origin and destination study is carried out mainly to know the origin and destination of various vehicles. In this study, the data collected are number of vehicles, their origin and destination, number of passenger in each vehicles, and their ride. So by going through this O&D study, you can calculate the various data related to vehicles. You can calculate the various data related to the number of passenger and their vehicles. So this data can be used for the further analysis. What are the various methods of OND? So these are the various methods normally those we are consider. Number one is roadside interview survey, home interview survey, telephonic survey, taxi survey, postcard questions, regulation numbers, tax survey, public transport of survey, and commercial vehicle survey. If you want to calculate the various data which is related with the OND, so by doing all this type of survey we can calculate. You can do the roadside interview survey, home interview survey, or telephonic survey. So by doing this survey, you may know that where that person is started his journey is today, where he will going to end his journey today. So in this way you may get the its origin point and you may know its destination point. Also you can collect the various data which is related with the vehicles, which type of vehicles they are used for this type of journey, how many people are travel from one point to the another point. So by using this method all this type of information can be calculated. Here some photos you can see where the this person is doing his roadside interview. By doing or by conducting this type of interview, this person is try to calculate the various data which is related with the number of vehicles, types of journey, starting point of journey, ending points of journey. So this way we can calculate the various information which is related with the OND. So student, this way in today's class we have discussed about the major 3 points. Point number one is passenger car unit, which is very important for the classification of a particular type of vehicle. Second, we also discuss about the various types of spot and speed study. This is very important for the analysis of various data which is related with the accidents. By doing this type of study we can minimize the accident. And third point, we discuss about the origin and destination studies, through which we can understand the nature of the travels, types of the vehicles, how many people are traveling from one point to another. And so all this data we can calculate through this study. So I hope you can understand today's topic. Thank you.